I was cradling our new son in the quiet hospital room, his tiny warm body against my chest, and the soft scent of baby lotion filling the air when the knock came. My stomach twisted as the nurse poked her head in, her voice low and uneasy. There's a woman in the waiting room who says she's the grandmother. She's demanding to come back here and won't leave until she does. That hit me like a truck. This was supposed to be our moment. Just me, Jake, and the baby we'd waited years to hold. No one else. It all started 2 months earlier when we got the news the adoption was finally moving forward. Jake and I planned it down to the last detail. We wanted this first meeting private, just the three of us starting our family with no extra eyes or opinions. One evening at our kitchen table over coffee, I told his mom, Linda, we'll text you once we're home with him, I said. She set her mug down hard. What time do I need to be at the hospital for the meeting? I blinked. The meeting? She leaned in. For when you first get him. I want to be right there. I felt my face go hot. It's only going to be Jake and me, I told her. Her mouth fell open like I'd hit her. My own mother was in the room when I had Jake, she said, voice rising. Family means being there for things like this. Jake stayed silent, eyes on the table. I repeated myself. This is a private thing for us. We need it that way. Linda's eyes filled with tears right there. She started crying at our table, shoulders shaking. I can't believe you cut me out, she sobbed. After raising him alone all those years. 2 days later, on March 12th, she came back with Jake's aunt. They sat across from me on the couch and started in. Family values mean sharing these moments. The aunt said while Linda wiped her eyes and cried harder. You're being selfish. I stuck to my no. Jake finally stood up and told them both to go home. As they left, Linda turned at the door and said, You've changed my boy since you married him, but he used to put family first. The text started pouring in the next day. Every morning, long messages about how she just wanted to be there to support you both through this. I stopped answering after a week. She changed tactics. At every Sunday dinner, she'd slip it in casual. I'll head to the hospital around 8 a.m. unless you need me sooner. I'd say, after the meeting, Linda. She'd nod and smile. Then 5 minutes later add, I can pack some snacks for the waiting room if it runs long. Jake told her to stop it 3 separate times. First time she cried in the car on the way home. Second time she hung up on him. Third time she showed up at our door with red eyes and said he was breaking her heart. Then came April 5th at 1:45 in the morning. The agency called. The baby was here early and we had to get to the hospital now for the handover. We threw on clothes, grabbed the car seat and bag, and headed out without a word to anyone. Our Ring camera was set to watch the dog while we were gone, and Jake's sister had the login to check the feed if needed. At the hospital the lights were too bright, the air cold on my skin. We signed the papers with hands that wouldn't stop shaking. The baby was placed in my arms at 3:30 a.m., his little cry the only sound in the room. It was everything. Perfect, just us. An hour later the nurse came in looking nervous. A woman outside is saying she's the grandmother and that you okayed her coming back. She's getting loud. I was feeding the baby, my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. No visitors, I said. Not now. 20 minutes passed. The nurse returned. She's refusing to leave. Says she drove 45 minutes and deserves to see him. I asked for security right away. Jake went out to talk to her. He was gone almost 40 minutes. When he came back his face was tight. Linda had been there the whole time with a cooler of snacks, her phone charger, and a brand new onesie. She had lied to the staff, saying we had changed our minds, and I was too emotional to think straight from the long wait. She wouldn't budge. How did she even know we were here? I whispered. Jake sighed. His sister had checked the Ring camera at 6 a.m. to see the dog and spotted us rushing out at 2 a.m. with the car seat. She texted Linda immediately. We got through the next 3 hours with just us. Our son slept peacefully, the monitor beeping softly beside us, the weight of him in my arms making everything else fade for a bit. But then in the recovery room the nurse came back annoyed. Security had to be called again. She tried to sneak past twice. Jake went out once more. I dozed off with the baby on my chest. He woke me 50 minutes later, furious. She's been on social media posting nonstop since 7 a.m. I opened my phone with trembling fingers. Pictures of the waiting room chairs. Captions like, the big day is finally here, becoming a grandma. A blurry shot of the hallway near our room. So close to my grandson's first moments. She had replied to dozens of comments with baby pics coming soon. Family is everything. Jake had confronted her. You weren't part of this, he said. She rolled her eyes. I was excited to share with the family. You're overreacting. He told her to leave, and she wouldn't see the baby today. She burst into tears. After all I sacrificed raising you, this is how you treat me? Jake looked her in the eye. Raising me doesn't mean you own our family now. He walked away while she yelled. She called his sister right after, sobbing. Now the sister won't stop texting Jake, calling us cruel and heartless. We sat down and decided. Linda doesn't get to meet our son until she says sorry face to face and deletes every post about it. Jake sent the text right then. Her response came fast. A wall of words about how devastated she was, how we were ruining family bonds, how she had driven so far. Zero apology. Not even one, I'm sorry. In this city some people think blood gives them a free pass to crash your most private days. And once social media gets involved your boundaries become their content for likes. But as I rocked our son to sleep that night safe in our arms and away from the drama, I made a promise to myself. She'll hold him one day, but only after she understands that the first chapter of his story belongs to us, not her audience of likes and shares.